may not.
You know what? Let's do it and see what happens.
It won't be loud.
I have never smoked one, so we may end up leaving or beating it off the wall with a hammer.
Yeah.
But let's find out. I've never had to test.
Well, if it's not powered, then it has to have some sort of winding mechanism.
Yeah, and how that resets, I don't know. I know that the way it was explained to me is there's a switch that opens or closes with the smoke. I wouldn't be afraid to go aggressive on that.
I say it's probably, if it's a mechanical device, it's going to take a lot of smoke to set it off.
Yeah.
But yeah,
come to this one by the front door.
To reset it, I'm betting you have to wind it back up or something. Or they've all been tripped before and never rewound.
Let me see what this is here. Oh, this one's damaged.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the test button.
It's got spring.
They're serious. Okay, so we're going to put those down as not responding to smoke.
No.
So I don't know how sensitive they have to be.
I was going to assume that anyway from looking at it. I was like, Walmart sells them for $10. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as a matter of fact, if you go down to Midvale, you probably go to the police or fire station.
Yeah.
They give them free.
Give them to you, yeah.
Yeah. So at least certain times a year they do.
Right.
Okay, well, a little bit of paperwork then. I think the things that are concerning are, obviously, we've got a lot of deferred maintenance. The gutters, they need to be sloped, they need to be draining properly.
Right.
Water, we won't even discuss, it needs to be handled.
Sure.
Electrical, we have more than one thing that needs to be addressed by an electrician.
Right.
All of them
anything
fixable.
nothing critical in the electrical. I mean, you would say we had a lot of minors, but what about like the things that really need to be done? We got like the gutters.
Yeah, the gutters are obviously a perpetual.
You know, some the grout in the front probably really needs to be done.
Well, once again, you know, it's maintenance. It's deferred maintenance.
Okay, it's deferred. I'm thinking more of what am I looking at straight off the bat that needs to be taken care of. We're talking gutters
and electrical
and what on the electrical? Really?
Well, the exposed wires.
Oh right,
really.
yeah.
That's it. And
but I mean, nothing. I mean, it's not the code for sure, but it's.
Well, it's not safe, but it's not a problem.
It's not like you know, it's not going to take off on its own right now.
Yeah, and all of those things, what needs to be done.
Sure.
Everything I mentioned needs to be done, but certainly talking to Steve, you'll see like what needs to be done.
The roofing above the garage seemed to be kind of a pretty critical, needs to be addressed pretty quickly. Well, and the gutters and the drain spouts.
That front valley, I think really that's something you're going to have to almost wait until next winter to watch and see how it performs. And then make the adjustment from there. But yeah,
because that's my big concern is what really needs to be done to the house before I move in. And we're talking that the mold issues, in the ceiling.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
obviously the mold will need to be dealt with. I'm sure the asbestos will.
Right.
We'll find out about the meth.
What I'd want to do before I moved in, but
yeah, but most of the rest of it is all pretty wide open, pretty exposed. Like I said. We looked at the roof, it's great. We looked at the structure, it's good. We could check the plumbing.
Right.
The furnace is operating and the gas burning appliances are operating.
The air conditioner seems to be working.
Yeah, and then the electrical needs some adjustment. So the 5 major components of it really, nothing significant.
So nothing really terrible then.
Nothing
That's good.
significant.
So
everything's in the moderate range.
Okay, good.
Refers to deferred maintenance or poor construction habits. And all of it should be easily remedied.
Sure. And that's really what I'm looking for is like, do we have major red flags or just a bunch of little yellow things?
Exactly. And we do these kind of houses all the time.
Sure.
This time frame is always a concern because of things that are a problem, like aluminum wiring.
Exactly.
It's not your problem. A bad old roof, not your problem.
Okay.
Structure having problems, not your problem. Yours are all about deferred maintenance and the condition that it's in.
That's good to know then.
So yeah, I think, I mean, you kind of see what you get. And if you can see where you're going with it from there, then I don't think you got a lot of restrictions.
So yeah, if you're looking more of a 20-year plan versus this needs to be done in a 6-month plan.
Yeah, well, yeah, and if you take care of that drainage,
that'll kind of...
It's going to solve whatever the problems are.
Exactly.
Because I got to imagine that most of what's happened down there is related to drainage, and then of course we know our plumbing is obviously
on that west wall where they tore all that stuff off. I mean, we're guessing that leaked in there, but that from the outside that looked like it was clear. The gravel was showing.
Well, the window well
think
is
it's
full of dirt. Let's look at
this one was over here, but the west wall where they tore all the drywall off the wall.
Where it was? The west
yeah, and that one actually looked good. You could probably see it through the gate.
Oh, I think
But it looked like this. It had the gravel looked like, you know. And so I'm like going, well, what's causing
it's that window well.
Right? Yeah, what's causing the leaking on that? Is it coming through the driveway or?
Well, I bet you this transition right here is probably the biggest contributor to it. Because we're not going to get anything dropping off the roof. We're not really going to get any weather there. But if we have stuff coming off of this little hip here with no gutter, look what it's doing to the concrete.
Might be funneling it right into that junction there.
I mean, if it's seeping through that ground and it's finding a crack, then that's where it's coming in. And it has been coming in the window well. Right. Because we can see that right there. So that window well may need to be dug out and redone, and the window resealed as well. But yeah, that little valley right there is a huge contributor. One of the numbers we like to use is 1,500 square foot roof, which is bigger than you, but probably as much as you have on both pieces here. 1 inch of rain, 800 gallons of water.
Exactly.
So you figure this spot here is taking somewhere in the couple 100-gallon range.
It's collecting all the one side of the garage and half that little valley there. So
yeah, so some sort of drainage in this area.
I wonder if that window well's filling up with water then.
I bet you, or
if you got a really good Utah storm, I wonder if it would splash in there.
Well, that's the northwest side. It'll never see sun. It's probably in the winter. You know, and especially with
you know what they're doing?
Locked.
They're pushing all the snow off the driveway into the window well.
Well, if they did that, they'd be crazy. But look at the locks. They're old. They've been on here. They're not using this. They're not even shoveling over here.
I don't think they know
so
where
it's
the
sitting
key
there
is
draining, dissipating. That would be my culprit. Always, that's what the problem is. It's always about outside drainage.
So it's just maintenance and.
So it's about finding out the best solution to get that front half of this little bump out to drain properly in the winter, more than likely.
Oh, that's garage power flow. It's through the air there.
Yeah, it is. It's not secured. It's not an external line. I mean, yeah, that needs to be addressed too. That'll be in the report. I didn't get into this because I didn't get over here. But yeah, that's, you know, that really should either be in conduit. It needs to be secured. I actually think it's part of that junction box I was telling you from up atop that's been added in. Right. And that'll need to be redone as well. So the electrician will certainly you know, give you the right advice on that. This thing, I don't know there's much you can do with that at this point. It just doesn't really look like it's overspanned, but the board is definitely bowed. Right. But that's where the moisture damage is too, so this is probably a spot that the gutter was failing in on that front side. Right. Because the whole thing's swagged, so everything about it's swagged. But it wasn't done under permit, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, tons of little things, but all of it's serviceable, for sure. Right. Kind of a big bite to take as your first home. So
yeah, that's what I'm like going. I'm like, what am I looking at to, you know, get this done or get it, you know, move-inable in a, you know, decent shape. You know, I'm looking for a good deal. That's why I'm looking for a short sale. And,
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you're certainly not too far away from actually being able to move in. Right. But you are going to have an extended list of maintenance for sure, and you'll continue.
Well, my first plan was, you know, make the upstairs livable and deal with the downstairs on a much extended basis. Yeah. It's like, you know, for the next 10 years, that's nice storage space, but I don't need it right now.
Yeah. Now is it just you? You married?
It'd be just me.
Oh yeah. So you're.
So you know, with the addition of, you know, a possible roommate down the line or something like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, so you've got...
But like, the first thing I was noticing is that hardwood looks like it runs through the whole upstairs, and I'm like, well, shoot, I want somebody to come in and tear all this crap out, and I want to redo that hardwood if it's not bad.
Yeah, well, this isn't really hardwood.
This is fake.
Yeah, this is laminate.
I mean, I'd tear up the laminate. Well, I don't know if it's tear upable. I'd put that in the basement for all I don't know.
Well, you won't
it's reusable.
It. I doubt that. I doubt that.
But man, if this is all hardwood, I'd want somebody to come in and refinish it all before I moved in.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've got hardwood back here.
Yeah, that's and it's in this little closet here too.
Yeah, and that's